I kind of come back. I could talk about this a little bit and then we can head out. So right now, basketball kind of hasn't started yet. I think it starts next week. We've talked about somebody came and went. Maybe we were talking about baseball too much, but now we have him back. So I was watching some of the preseason stuff a little bit. Cooper Flagg, I haven't really gotten your take on Cooper Flagg. I'm a Maverick fan. I've kind of been one for pretty much as a basketball fan as a whole. It's one of the few, if only, the Dallas teams that I actually do pay attention to and I do enjoy because of, Dirk was one growing up. So, and I watched a lot of that team as a child. So have you been watching any of the preseason stuff with Cooper Flagg? Have you been paying any
Yeah, I
attention
mean, he
with
looks
what he's
really,
been
really
doing?
good. He looks really good and very smart with the ball, very good offensively around the basket, has range, is able to do a lot of things, dribbling. The game doesn't seem too fast for him. College basketball in the NBA isn't as much of a jump as college football in the NFL. But no, he looks really good, and I think he's going to help not rush Kyrie back because he's going to be able to kind of handle the load and get them to where they're okay. They're not like if you get too far behind, it doesn't matter if Kyrie comes back. I think he can keep them in the talks, kind of around the 7 seed, 8 seed, 9 seed, or in that play-in area until Kyrie comes back, and then they can make their move in the second half of the season. I think ideally that's what you would like to happen from a Kyrie's health standpoint. You would like to now. I've heard and read Kyrie's ahead of schedule and he's looking good and already kind of making some basketball operations and yeah, don't rush though. Because you
I don't think
wanna
so. I don't think they want to rush it either.
And everything like that. So I think Flagg gives them the opportunity to do that, and he'll be able to hold the team together. And I think the core of the team is pretty solid,
Right. Yeah, and I've watched a little bit of it. Again, I think somebody just came in. We did talk about NFL stuff. We talked a little about the baseball playoff stuff, Tani and things, and we're kind of finishing off with like basketball things. So I watched a little bit of some of the highlights of the preseason stuff. I did watch the whole game, a little bit of it actually. Towards the end, I kind of stopped because it was kind of over. But the LA game, the only reason that I wanted to watch the Mavericks versus the Lakers is because I kind of wanted to see Luka and Flagg, but Luka didn't play. So I was kind of like, okay, well, whatever. I'm excited to see how this kid plays as a whole. I think that he is going to be, a lot of people are going to immediately compare him to Luka Doncic. I think their play styles are completely different. Luka kind of makes his own stuff and he goes, Flagg is his defensive. He's kind of honestly with Cooper Flagg, he's an all-around player. And I said this to Brian on the phone the other day. I said, what I like about him is he's an all-around player. One of the problems that the Mavericks had, and I know a lot of Mavericks fans don't want to talk about it and say it, right? Because it's such blasphemy to sit here and say, Luka wasn't, but he wasn't an all-around player. Like, I mean, gosh, he had to score terrible a lot of points.
Yeah.
And the moment we played against a team that can shut you down, that's when we lost. Right? We lost in the finals because we went up against a defense that completely locked Luka down and he couldn't score 50, 60 points.
Right.
And once Kyrie couldn't either. Defense. No, and that was my problem. Once you put him on defense, like he's not doing anything. He's just blow past him.
Like
okay.
A traffic cone.
Like,
he plays defense.
And so in my set, if you go back and look at even the Boston team that won, go back and also look at the team that just recently won with Oklahoma and look how those guys play. They can score and defend.
Yeah.
You got to have that. And now
the NBA has changed tremendously from years ago. There's nothing like, you used to get to 100 and that would be, you'd win every game if you get to 100. Your average score was 92 or 93, 93, 89, 93, 87, something like that. Now it's they've got 75 at halftime. What are we doing? Is this an
there was a
game?
Yeah.
Is this a McDonald's shootout? What are we doing? Why was 75
at halftime?
Harlem
Globetrotters.
Right. 75 at halftime. What are you talking about? Like a 30-point quarter used to be, oh my God, a 30-point quarter. Now it's, if you don't score 30, what are you doing? Like, well, why are we struggling? Well, because that's not normal. What the heck? 30 point, the average is 120, 125. If you don't put up 125, you ain't in. And
Yeah.
how many blowouts do you see? I mean, 125, 75, 125, 85. What are we? You never used to see that.
No.
Never.
And the other thing too, when it comes to just kind of the basketball stuff, is like I just look at it, especially when it comes to the Mavericks. People want to sit here and say, well, I told Brian this. I heard some people sitting there saying, well, we're still going to do the fire Nico chance, and I'm like, can you just stop and leave it alone? Like the thing is, it's over. He signed an extension.
Right.
He's not coming back to Dallas. A lot of people thought he might. He's not. It's over with.
No,
and
he's gone. He will never play for the Dallas Mavericks ever again.
Ultimately, I will say this much about the whole thing. If it wasn't for Cooper Flagg, I could understand the hoopla, right? I could understand fan base being upset and mad. You got a diamond in all that craziness that went down. Right. Don't squander it. Don't make it bad for this kid. He's 18.
Yeah, he didn't do anything.
Let
he
him
wasn't part of the trade.
Be his own player. Don't compare him to Luka or any of that. And a lot of these fans will do that sometimes, and it's frustrating. But I'm like, there's people that are like, I'm still mad about it. And I'm like, and I said this to Brian, or my dad, actually. I was talking to my dad. I said, my whole thing is, are you a Luka Doncic fan or are you a Maverick fan? Right. Because I'm a Maverick fan. Because I'm not a Luka Doncic fan.
If you really look at it, I think they kind of won. Like, I see at least before you didn't see what he was looking at. Now you can at least see the vision and what he's trying to build.
And one of the things that I brought up to Brian, I don't know if I ever said it on here or not. Maybe I did. The Mavericks and Cooper Flagg are in a better position to make a run in the NBA right now than the Lakers.
Right.
I'll say that much. Mainly because they are 1 year away from not having LeBron James. He will retire and
Should have retired 2 years ago.
Should have retired. And he will do his own thing. That leaves Luka Doncic with whatever they have. And if I had to sit there and think about it, it took the Mavericks 7 years, something like that, to get to a finals. A long time. And we went through a lot of players to get to that point. And a coach, by the way.
Well, and the whole NBA is fixing to change. Durant's on his way out. Curry's on his way out. All these guys that have been big for years are on their way out.
I look at it and I'm like, okay, you're going to have to build this team to work with Luka. And the problem with being a two-way player and a one-sided player with Luka Doncic, and he can assist and all that, right? But he also can score, but he can't play defense. When you have that at a point in time in your career, you either are going to be still good in a way, kind of like a LeBron or whatever, where he still averages, he still does pretty well, or are you going to be like a Carmelo Anthony where you just die off, right? And it's like, oh, now you're 30 and you're just not getting those kinds of points anymore. You're just not as, you're kind of pushing it to where like your prime's kind of done. So I don't know. Do the Lakers have enough time to withstand a 6 to 7 year to get Luka back to the finals? I don't know. It's very fascinating. Who knows? Once LeBron's gone, if Luka doesn't like JJ Redick, he's gone. Possibly. So I don't know. We'll see. I do find it as a Maverick fan, and I brought this up to my dad. I brought it up to my wife as well. I find it a slap in the face that he decided to take his health seriously now, right? And all of a sudden, that's all people are talking about is like, oh man, look how good he looks. He's all fit and ready to go. He's on Men's Health magazine. And I'm like, if you say that you were such a Maverick for life guy buying a house in Dallas, ready to go, why do you take it seriously now? Is it because JJ Redick called you out after the playoffs last year on the exit interviews? And he didn't say him by name, but he said, we're not in playoff shape. Or are you just trying to sit here and do a revenge campaign to try to get back at the Mavericks for doing it, right? So I don't know. To me, it's like you could have been doing that here in Dallas and you didn't. And Granted, now we have Cooper Flagg, and I'm fine with that, and I'm totally good with that. But it is a little bit slap in the face from a guy who said he was all in, right? He was Matt for life. He was all about the fans, but he couldn't do that for a fan base. If they asked Dirk Nowitzki to get lean and build some muscle, he'll do it. I don't know
Don't
where.
underestimate the D'Angelo Russell signer and Max Christie signing either.
Yeah, D'Angelo Russell's a big one.
Yeah, two big pieces.
So it's exciting. That's the thing, as people kind of playing both sides here with it comes to Cooper Flagg. And I honestly think that the Mavericks are in a better position than the Lakers are. And Cooper Flagg, as a rookie, is in a better position than any rookie that has ever come in the NBA. Because if you look at it, they just are in a rebuild team, and they don't have this kind of talent on their starting roster like that. Right. They have to be the one that brings the franchise up to relevancy, and he doesn't have to do that, which is kind of dangerous, actually, honestly. All right, well,